Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving right into something that literally affects almost every single one of us, our screens, and more importantly, how we can actually reclaim our time and attention from them. We're unpacking the insights from this fantastic guide called Life Beyond the Screen, Rediscovering Joy and Connection Offline. Get ready, because we're going to figure out how to break free from the endless scroll and start fully living.
Think about it. Have you ever picked up your phone to check just one quick message, only to suddenly realize an entire hour has just slipped away? Maybe you went in to check the weather and ended up deep in someone's vacation photos from 5 years ago. Research actually shows the average person touches their phone over 2,600 times a day. So if you're nodding your head right now, I want you to know you are absolutely not alone. We have all been there.
Or, hey, how about this one? Have you ever felt just completely mentally exhausted after spending hours online, yet somehow strangely unfulfilled? You know the feeling, right? Maybe you even get those weird phantom vibrations in your pocket when your phone hasn't even buzzed. It's the real emotional toll of digital overload. But I promise you, there is a way out of this, and no, it doesn't involve throwing your smartphone into the nearest ocean.
Okay, let's dive into this roadmap to digital freedom. Today we're going to cover 1. The mobile addiction trap. 2. Your brain on smartphones. 3. Identifying usage patterns. 4. The digital detox playbook. 5. Reclaiming your offline life. And finally, 6. Lifelong digital wellness.
All right, starting with part 1, the mobile addiction trap.
So right off the bat, we need to reframe how we view these devices. Your smartphone, it's not your enemy. It's actually a brilliantly engineered tool designed specifically to constantly compete for your attention. But mobile addiction isn't just about the sheer number of hours you log. The real giveaway here is the genuine anxiety, restlessness, or discomfort you feel when your battery drops to 1% or when you suddenly lose your internet connection. That emotional reaction is the true indicator.
Moving on to part 2, your brain on smartphones.
Now, seriously, it is time to let go of the guilt. If you struggle to put the phone down, it's not some huge lack of willpower on your part. It's actually about the powerful chemical reactions happening right now inside your brain. And this brilliantly illustrates the difference. Normally, we have this healthy reward system that gives us a dopamine hit when we achieve goals, learn something new, or connect with a friend. But our natural dopamine pathways? They're getting completely hijacked by an overloaded system of quick, cheap thrills from our devices, constant notifications, rapid-fire short-form videos, and endless likes.
And this overloaded system creates a powerful phenomenon you're definitely familiar with: FOMO, the fear of missing out. This relentless fear completely drains our attention spans. It forces us to constantly compare our messy, beautifully real lives to the carefully edited, highlight reel content we see online. And that leaves us mentally exhausted and always craving the next update.
That brings us to part 3, identifying your usage patterns.
Okay, so now that we know the science, it's time for some self-awareness. And remember, absolutely no guilt here, because you can't improve what you don't recognize. Reaching for a phone is so often just an automatic emotional reflex to avoid boredom, stress, or sadness. So I urge you to identify your own automatic phone moments. Do you grab your phone the exact second you wake up, or maybe whenever you're standing awkwardly in an elevator? Identifying these emotional triggers is your first major step toward reclaiming your focus.
Let's move to part 4, the digital detox playbook.
Now we're getting into the solution phase of our explainer. Look, a successful digital detox isn't about abandoning technology entirely. It's about setting intentional boundaries so your tech actually works for you. You want to start with a small step approach. Please don't try to change everything overnight. Try establishing phone-free zones like the dinner table, or do a quick app cleanup to hide those super distracting apps. But the crucial point here is to initiate a notification detox. Turning off all non-essential alerts is hands down the fastest way to instantly take back control of your attention.
Implementing these kinds of boundaries into your daily routine changes everything. Setting a morning boundary, like absolutely no phone for the first 30 minutes, lets you start your day with peace instead of immediate panic. And then establishing a digital sunset, which is putting the screen away 30 minutes before bed, literally signals to your overloaded brain that it's finally time to rest. It's amazing how much this drastically improves your sleep and your mental clarity.
All right, part 5, reclaiming your offline life.
Okay, I do have to give you a quick warning here. When you successfully reduce your screen time, you're going to have a void in your schedule. And if you don't fill it with something purposeful, plain old boredom is going to drive you right back to your screen. You have to actively cultivate fulfilling offline habits. Go for a run, read a physical book,
get your hands dirty in the garden, or sit down for a genuine face-to-face conversation. Just contrast that fleeting, empty reward of endless scrolling against the deep, lasting joy of real-world hobbies and human connection. This is where life actually happens.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast it shows. When we try to work while surrounded by screens, all we get is fragmented focus and mental clutter. But distraction-free time blocking, that means literally placing your phone completely out of sight in another room during work or study. It is a total productivity game changer. Your brain finally gets the quiet space it desperately needs to engage in deep, meaningful work.
And finally, part 6, lifelong digital wellness.
So how do we make these new habits sustainable for the long haul? Well, if you live with other people, this isn't just a solo journey. Digital wellness is a family issue. You really have to lead by example because children watch exactly what adults do. Establishing screen-free meals and creating shared offline experiences, like a walk outside or maybe a board game night, naturally reduces everyone's dependence on screens without it ever feeling like a punishment. I want to share this incredible quote from the text that just brilliantly sums everything up. The strongest protection against mobile addiction is not simply fewer screens, it is stronger relationships, healthier routines, and a home environment where people feel connected beyond the digital world. I mean, that perfectly captures the whole shebang. True digital freedom is really about building a rich, engaged, and beautiful real life.
So I will leave you with this one final, lingering question. What will you do with your newly reclaimed time? I challenge you to log off right now, put the screen down, and take your very first step toward a beautifully balanced life. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope you found it as fascinating as I did.